Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to Silent Witness, the podcast that jumps into true crime and cold case files with your host, Christina.
Hello, hello.
And I'm Erica. Hello. All right. So we are a part two today.
Part two
of Miss Rachel Cooke.
Yes.
All right. What you got?
So if you remember, Rachel was on her morning run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
She was visiting home for the holidays and was taking a morning run and was never seen again.
Ugh.
Police have searched and tips were coming in. And so we're going to now explore some of the theories.
And what was she, like 19, 20?
19.
Somewhere? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And she was attending college in San Diego for
Mm-hmm.
fashion. Beautiful young lady.
Yes. Okay.
So let's look at some of the theories that the police, investigated.
Okay.
So let's go to the ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you remember,
he was being weird at a party a couple nights before.
Yeah, he was being weird and drunk, and I think there was also. I think I'm gonna get into it. I hope. Yes, I am gonna get into it. I remembered something, and I can't remember if I wrote it down.
But you did.
I did.
She's checking her notes.
Okay.
Okay.
So the ex-boyfriend of Rachel, that she spoke with at the party days before she disappeared.
And this is her high school boyfriend.
Yes.
She broke up before they went to college.
Yes, this isn't Greg, her boyfriend from college.
Okay.
So if you remember at the party, he wanted her back. She said no.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I'm unsure when this incident happened. Obviously, it was before she disappeared, but I don't know if it was during this break or another time. I don't know.
Okay.
So he shows up at the Cooke home drunk and banging on the door, demanding to see her.
Oh, honey.
Of course, they called the police because he wouldn't leave.
Oh, gosh.
But he was looked at by police, and he was not. It was determined he wasn't connected to her disappearance. He wasn't in the area at the time.
Okay.
I don't think they've officially 100% ruled him out, but they've
mostly said it doesn't make sense for it to be him.
Right.
And to be fair, like that, no, I want to be back together with you drunk moment is very, very relatable.
Yeah. I mean, people do
We've all
dumb
done
things
it.
for love. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, those closest to Rachel are always looked at first.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the ex-boyfriend was looked at, but also her current boyfriend, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in San Diego, and phone records confirmed he was in San Diego at the time of her disappearance. So he was states away.
Okay.
So he was eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Janet and Robert obviously were questioned and both polygraphed. Now, an interesting thing here.
Okay.
So this is an interesting point, and they were polygraphed.
Okay.
Robert did fail one question. Do you know where Rachel is? And he answered no. Because when you take a polygraph, it's going to be yes or no answers.
Okay.
You don't get to explain.
Right.
And he and Janet explained why he probably failed that. And it makes sense. Deep down, Robert felt he knew where she was in heaven. She wasn't alive.
Oh, okay.
So, you can't, it's hard to, on those questions, when you you don't want to believe it, you don't want to say it, but deep down, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why he failed that.
Well, and I mean, isn't there a reason these aren't like used in court?
Right.
Right. So they're
not admissible. I
Mhm.
still believe in them. I still believe in them, but I do also believe that stuff like that is a plausible explanation. You know what I mean?
If that's where his brain's at, sure.
You know, she's not home. It's days later. You know, she didn't
Yeah.
run away.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all and men tend to go. Women don't want to believe it. You know what I mean?
I am a worst case scenario person at all
Me
times.
too. Me too.
At all times. You are dead in a ditch. I haven't heard from you in 20 minutes. What?
Yeah. And
My poor kids.
But I think that, you know, and especially, yeah.
You think he had just already kind of accepted, like he thinks, no,
Yeah.
she's gone. Okay. I think
And-
that's
but they-
plausible.
And both of the parents were eventually eliminated.
Okay.
You know, he was at work, so I'm sure they
I mean,
proved he was at work.
right.
And, you know.
And again, those things are not amazingly accurate. So they're not.
I think they're accurate, but
That's
I
why
think
they're
that
not
there
admissible.
there is a reason why they're not used in court.
Mhm.
They are a tool.
I think they're a
um,
tactic.
But and even Rachel's mom, Janet, you know, deep down thinks that her child isn't alive and in heaven. And she also, you know, said, hey, you know, when you deep down think that, it's going to come through on a test. So
Okay.
I can see the confusion.
Okay.
Plus, police did eliminate him as a suspect. And they did
Mhm.
not believe he had anything to do with the crime.
Right. Okay.
So 2 years after Rachel disappeared, a new sheriff was elected.
Okay.
And as often happens, new efforts were publicity and
Refreshed her case.
yeah, to get the case going again. They were
Okay.
pushed along to get, you know, publicity. The case was also featured on America's Most Wanted.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
ever watch that show?
Oh, yeah. I used to scare the crap out of myself watching that show.
I used to scare my kids.
Oh, my God.
They said I used to torment them because I'd watch that and then I would be mean.
Mhm. She's like, I was.
They would say, "Oh, are they here?" And then most of the time I'd say no, and then sometimes I'd bang on the door.
Oh, my gosh.
Listen, I never claimed to be a good parent.
Okay.
Okay. So let's jump ahead to August of 2006.
Mm-hmm.
A very big break in the case happens. And the big break comes from a Texas prison.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
So Michael Keith Moore, a high school dropout. He has average intelligence, but thinks he's the smartest one in the room. He thinks he's it,
Okay.
as
I love
some
those
dumb
people.
criminals do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to law enforcement. He thinks he watches crime shows, so he knows more.
He watches CSI, so he
Yeah.
knows what's up.
But Moore lived in the Round Rock area. He had been in and out of jail since the age of 13 and spent much of his adult life in prison. Moore began with burglaries and thefts. Then he jumped to some assaults.
Mhm.
But much of Moore's illegal activity also had a sexual nature to it.
Okay.
So just a couple of things. His stepdaughter-in-law. I've been trying to think. What
Wait,
is
did
it?
you say how old he is?
No,
Oh.
he's an adult. I don't know how old he is.
Okay.
His stepdaughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
His stepdaughter-in-law. What?
I don't know. That's where I was reading the article, and that's what it said. Stepdaughter-in-law.
Okay.
Woke up one night to find Moore rubbing her leg in bed, and then just 2 days later, he was arrested for burglary and assault. He was sent back to prison. I think he was on parole at the time.
Wait, what? He was rubbing her leg and he got burglary and assault?
Well, 2 days later,
Separate. Oh, okay.
he was arrested for burglary and assault.
Oh, okay.
Separate from this.
Okay.
But she did wake up, so it was kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just a creepy thing.
Mm-hmm.
He had previously also been involved in a rape allegation. A woman at a party accused him of rape. He was not charged in that case that I could find, that I could see. But he also had some other sexual misconduct in prison. He wrote letters to his teen stepdaughter from prison and videotaped her when he was out.
Gross.
So he's a creep.
Oh, so his stepson got married. That's how it's his stepdaughter-in-law.
Why couldn't I figure that out?
And they don't like him, so they made sure. Because, like, I would never call my husband my stepmom's stepson. That's her son-in-law. they don't like him and they want to be sure that they knew a step. Get that step in there.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you for pointing that out.
I'm like,
Learn something new every day.
Words are
I
important.
couldn't think about that. I couldn't think of that. I don't know why. I was thinking, what the hell?
Right? That's a lot. Okay.
Okay.
So he's a creepy dude. So, okay, but why, how does this pertain?
I'm getting there.
I'm
I'm just
impatient.
giving you a little bit of history because he's a interesting young man.
He's gross. If interesting equals ugh.
No, I'm being sarcastic. He's not
Okay.
interesting. He's a creep. Okay. So now let's talk about the case that had him in prison in
Okay.
August of 2006.
Okay.
Was
I
the
had a baby
murder
that year too. Sorry.
was the murder of Christina Moore in 2003. No relation.
Isn't his last name? Oh, okay.
No relation to Michael Moore.
Okay.
She lived with her husband and 15-month-old child in Round Rock.
And
And if you know anything about that area, you got Round Rock, and then right after Round Rock is Georgetown.
They're right by each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barely
They're
any
the same-
distance.
yeah.
Yeah. She was also 14 weeks pregnant with her second child.
Aw.
Michael Moore went in her home through an unlocked door
Mhm.
in order to steal or rob from the home.
Okay.
According to several articles, he targeted that home because they had the same last name. So he figured it would be easier to use credit cards and cash checks.
Oh, okay.
Okay. More, I think, again, this was me. So this is my
Interpretation.
theory.
Okay.
I don't think Moore expected that the young mother would be home with her child
Like
because he went in to
he was just trying to, steal.
and
Okay.
and she was home and she was bound with a handcuff. I think there was a handcuff on one hand. I don't know. And her throat was cut.
Oh, God.
The 15-month-old was unharmed.
Okay.
And so when her husband came home, he found his wife
Aw.
and then the baby running around crying and
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
She was, according to what I read, and I did read the autopsy report,
Mm-hmm.
she was not sexually assaulted.
Okay.
And my theory again is that this was a quick,
Like, this is his fix. You saw him. I got to get rid of you.
yeah, because I didn't expect you to be here, so
Mhm.
I got to get rid of a witness and quickly, and that's why I don't think she was. I think normally she would have been sexually assaulted.
Where'd the handcuff come from, though?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
And I also think he didn't sexually assault her because the child was there too. But
Mhm.
he did, again, want to kill the witness and get the stuff and get out of there, which he did. He did
Okay.
get the checks and credit cards and whatever. So Michael Moore's smarter than all of us because he called the police 4 days later anonymously to tell them the checks would be found in a payphone coin slot.
What?
Don't ask. I don't know. He's an
Why?
idiot.
Why wouldn't you
A
just
scumbag idiot.
leave it alone, dummy? Okay.
Okay. So Michael Moore was caught because his stepdaughter called the police to report that he had her checks.
Good job.
So, and he eventually did confess to the killing. He was
Okay.
sentenced to 4 life sentences in prison. which,
Okay.
Is life. It's 30 years before you're eligible. So he's going to be eligible for parole. We didn't have life without parole at that time.
And so this is in 06. So 4 years later is when Rachel went missing.
Mm-mm.
No? When did
Rachel was missing in 2002.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This was 2000.
6, I thought you said. Either way. So it was.
No.
after.
This killing was 2003. The
Oh.
tip came in 2006. So
Oh,
Michael
okay.
Moore was already in prison. And so the tip for Rachel Cooke's murder came in 2006. So he'd already been
Okay.
to prison. So he's eligible for parole, I believe, in 2044, something like that.
How?
So when you get life
Yeah.
in Texas before the life without parole.
Yeah.
So now, even now, you get life in prison. You are eligible. So you are eligible for parole after 30 years.
Okay.
So that's why Yolanda Salvador, who killed Selena,
Mhm.
is up for parole next month
Okay.
because that's her 30th year.
But didn't he get 4 life sentences?
Mm-hmm. But
So-
they run together.
That's dumb. I'd be like, you're eligible for parole in 120 years.
Well, I don't know.
I hate our jail system.
We do have life without parole now, but we didn't back then.
Okay.
That's a fairly new thing that Texas has.
Okay.
So what does this have to do with Rachel?
I don't know,
I'll
Christina.
I'll tell you. The big break came when Michael Moore confessed to the police that he was responsible for her disappearance. He gave details. He was driving his truck in the area, and he drove a white truck. And saw Rachel jogging. He was driving in the area looking for somebody to rob or something to steal.
Okay.
And he saw Rachel jogging. He snuck up behind her. Now, mind you, she's got her Walkman on.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to hear him.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I don't hear when somebody sneaks up on me.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Please don't do that. Okay.
Mm.
But apparently he snuck up behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And he hit her with a hammer.
Oh, good God. This is
what he
told
said.
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
He killed Rachel with a hammer. I did read one account where he also strangled her. So he may have hit her and strangled her. And he dumped her body in the Matagorda Bay. Did I say that right? In the Gulf of Mexico? Down near the Gulf.
What?
What?
Okay.
So now he's a plausible suspect. He drove the vehicle. He was out of prison then.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't in prison, and he lived in the area.
Okay.
Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today.
So he described where he disposed of Rachel's body, and police went and looked and was never found.
Wow.
So Moore was indicted by a grand jury, and a plea agreement was worked out. Now, this is one account I read, so take this with a grain of salt, but he would plead guilty, get an additional 18 months added to his sentence. But
18 months?
But the plea agreement was he had to lead investigators to her body and where he buried her jewelry and other personal effects.
Okay.
So investigators and the DA believed him because he drove a white truck. He was not in jail at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
why would he offer this? I'm so confused. Why did this come up? Why is he like, yeah, I did that?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay. This is just so random.
So it is plausible because in Christina's murder, he also buried her personal belongings and promised lead investigators to those items, which he did.
Okay.
So it's kind of his MO.
Okay.
You know, again, he had a court date set. And so I did watch, because it was televised or videoed, and I did see the court date. So court date where he was supposed to go in, he reached a plea bargain, I'm going to plead guilty. Everybody expected it. Rachel's family was there. They were very relieved to have closure. They were finally going to bring Rachel home. Court date, again, he was supposed to plead guilty and be sentenced.
Okay.
He walks into the Williamson County courtroom. And the judge asked him, what is your plea in the murder of Rachel Cooke?
Mm-hmm.
He pleads not guilty.
What is wrong with this guy?
Absolute blow to the family.
Oh, my God.
A surprise to the DA and even his own attorneys. It was all worked out.
Because they'd already signed and done it, and the judge just needed to officially
when you do a plea, you have to go through all of these. And you have to plead, how do you plead? And it would have been
You have to present it to the
Guilty.
judge, and the judge has to accept the plea and all the good things, right? Yeah.
Right. So, was he toying with investigators and the family? But
why? Like what?
It was a devastating blow. Now, more.
Heck yeah.
Apparently, he did it because he claimed he got some special privileges, which I can see that. I think I read where they did take him to the Bay Area to say, hey, where's the body? So he got a cheeseburger. He got a trip. He got out of prison. He's in Williamson County Jail instead of in TDC. So he got, and he got some publicity.
Yeah.
It was all in the news. And, he's.
What a piece.
So he changed his plea. Now, the DA said at the time, we will pursue charges against Moore, but nothing has happened since then. His admission won't be admissible in court because he recanted. Because just because I say I did something, there has to be something else to go with it. You can't just put it out there. And we've seen this before in other cases where somebody, throughout history where somebody just wants to take credit and, whatever.
Gross.
Yeah, just a scum.
I hope you rot, Betty.
POS.
It's horrible.
Okay, so let's jump to 2000.
That poor family.
Yeah, poor family.
Oh. Okay.
And so we're going to jump ahead to 2018.
Okay.
Police receive a tip that a vehicle matching the description of the Pontiac Trans Am that was seen in the neighborhood the day Rachel disappeared was in the Dallas area. So police brought the car to Williamson County, checked it out completely for evidence.
16 years later? Okay.
I mean, you can still find evidence people don't know how to clean.
Yeah. No, sorry. I'm just like, how can you even tell? I'm still stuck on. Do you know how many white Pontiac Trans
Well,
Ams
they're gonna
like, what was the identifying feature?
Test it, and they're gonna they had not only local law enforcement, crime scene investigators, but FBI examine the vehicle, and the FBI has the best equipment.
No. Yeah, I'm just like, how do you know that's this? Do you know how many of those cars there are?
Right.
It's weird.
I don't know. Preliminary tests did indicate the possibility of blood in the vehicle on the passenger floorboard and the passenger door. So it had just been tiny little spots that you probably couldn't tell with the naked eye. Further testing was conducted, and those results have not been released.
Interesting.
Yes. So we don't know.
Maybe it's actually a time when we should be like, wow, look at you turning over every stone. That's interesting. That's cool.
I mean, at least they're, using resources, and especially if the FBI is involved, and they are involved at this point in this case. So now, as in all these cases, the family and friends of Rachel are devastated at the lack of progress. It took a toll on the marriage of Janet and Robert. They eventually did divorce.
Oh.
Not a lot of marriages could survive this type of devastation.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine. Rachel's younger sister, graduated high school, attended college, and has tried her best to get on with her life.
Okay.
Janet has suffered with depression through the years.
Aww.
Her father worked daily, endlessly, to bring awareness, to search for his daughter. He dedicated his life to safety for women, his daughter, and other missing persons. He just he was also the spokesperson for the family. So he just spent the rest of his days in life working to find his daughter and to help others. Sadly, he never got to know what happened to his daughter. Oh. He died at the age of 59 in 2014 from liver disease.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah.
That's sad.
According to police, this is still an active case. The FBI is offering $50,000 reward.
Wow. Okay.
So FBI is bringing some dough. For any information that leads to finding Rachel or who abducted her. So.
Okay.
Rachel was 19 years old at the time. She's 5'3", weighs 115 at the time of her disappearance. She was wearing a gray shirt and shorts, green sports bra, and running shoes. She had her Walkman with her. Rachel had 2 heart-shaped cherries on her left shoulder, a black star on her left foot, tattoos,
Yeah.
near-
Okay.
Did I say cherries?
No.
Okay,
At
tattoos.
first, though, I was like a birthmark, but then when you
Tattoos.
said black star, I was like, oh, tattoos.
Tattoos,
Okay.
sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Black star on her left foot near her pinky toe.
Ooh,
and
ouch.
she had multiple ear piercings and a navel piercing at the time. If you know anything about this case, if you've heard rumors, know anything, heard anything, saw anything, please contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-225-5324. You can submit a tip online to Williamson County Sheriff's Office or Texas Rangers. Go to their websites.
She's one of the cold case files.
Yes. And submit a tip. Get that money. You know, it's been enough years. The family deserves answers.
The not knowing, I think, is
It's hard.
horrible.
You just, you know, and I think one of the things is that, you know, she was seen 200 yards from her home. So either somebody was inside and took her, or somebody took her right as she was headed inside. And like I've done, I probably shouldn't admit this, but, you know, when you go out for a run, you don't want to carry keys. So I've left my door unlocked, you know, so somebody could have been inside, you know, and back then, safe neighborhood, you know, you don't think about somebody could be in there. Again, it could more still be a suspect and have done this. Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Did he know stuff that somebody wouldn't know if they weren't?
If he did, they're not saying. I mean, he was driving the truck. He was out, saw her jogging, wanted somebody to ride, opportunity. He could still be a legit suspect in this. It could be construction workers. It could be anything. Anybody, anything. It could be, I don't know.
Okay.
They say too, again, I read that Williamson County, I read this online. I don't know how, I didn't include it really in the story, that they're covering up. It could have been a cop and another cop's covering it up. I did read that.
Oh gosh.
Listen.
There's all kinds of crazy theories.
But the thing is even if it's a rumor like that, go ahead and call.
Give them, obviously, if they're going to go look at that Trans Am 18 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
Then they're going to look into the tips that they're getting. So let's give them something to go on.
Just anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've heard somebody talking about it or drunk, I mean,
that's always your go-to. Some drunk person.
Because drunk
just
people
let it
are
out.
Stupid and they talk.
True.
And they're in a bar and they talk loud because they're drunk. You know they said something. Because they got a drink because they killed somebody and they can't live with the guilt.
You hope.
I know. If you did this, you need to come forward.
Yes. Just
say you're about to die and you don't want to go to hell. So you need to just admit your sins.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Anywho.
Okay. If you know anything, we're contacting the FBI, Williamson County Sheriff's Department, or Texas Rangers.
Yes.
Okay. We'll have that in the show notes. And man, this is a frustrating one. They're all frustrating.
Yeah, they are. But this one
goodness.
especially, it's just, I got to looking at it and I'm a runner. So, you know, it's just.
Well, I hope you walked away with some safety tips, ma'am.
Yeah, I carry my gun when I run and I'm going to shoot you if you try to get me. How's that
You'll
sound?
carry your gun, but you won't carry your phone?
Yeah, a gun's
Ma'am.
better than a phone.
Well, obviously, but I'm just saying it's
I'm going
going
to shoot.
hit your hip.
Who am I going to do? Call? What am I going to do? Hit you with my phone? I'm going to hit you. If you try to get me, no, I'm going to shoot you.
Now you know.
See?
Don't go after Christina.
I got my Walther
Oh gosh.
on me. So y'all be ready for some
Oh, okay.
wild west.
All right. Well, Christina won't end up on a cold case file. She'll be good to go. But if you have information about this cold case, please call it in. Check out the show notes. You'll be able to know where to go with that information. And let's bring Rachel Cooke's killer to justice and let her family know what happened.
Yeah. And if you have a story you want us to cover, please let us know. Send us an email or
You can reach out through Rogue.
yeah, reach out through Rogue or comment on our social media, Silent Witness TX, on all the things.
And all the things.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you and let's get your loved ones featured.
Let's go. Okay. And thank you so much. That was Silent Witness.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.